Hi everybody, I'm Jeff with Virginia Paranormal Investigations.
And I'm Linda.
And we just finished up our ghost tour down here in Yorktown along the haunted streets as we explored the dark side. But we're getting ready to embark on another weekend of paranormal spectacularness. Starting with a convention tomorrow and then a paranormal investigation.
Right.
We're going to keep you posted about what happens, but most importantly, we're going to let you know what happens along the way.
So it's right around 9:45 on Saturday morning, and we are here at the Chesapeake Public Library for an event called FantaSci. Now, we've been to this a few times before, and it's actually a larger event than you would think for being in a library. It usually has a pretty good turnout, so we're going to take our stuff in, set up a table, and sit here for the rest of the afternoon and probably till about 4, and see what kind of business we can generate.
Our table, and it's right here in kind of the middle of the library, which is cool. All right, let's kind of pan around here, during setup time, see what it looks like around. So, sitting here at FantaSci, we got the table set up in a timely fashion, of course, and you just saw perhaps an aerial view, if I edited the video right, that showed the table and such from upstairs and kind of an overview of the con here.
Right.
How's it going?
Hey, how are you?
All right, so we had to stop to sign a couple autographs there. Not really.
Yeah.
But since we've been here, I've had a chance to check out the bathrooms, and I gotta say I like the bathrooms at libraries because of the lighting in there. It's like a coffee shop type atmosphere in the bathroom,
Right.
Which is very conducive, and I like that.
Yeah.
Which is good. But we're gonna see what events unfold here today. There's a cosplay contest, and perhaps we'll get some footage of that, I don't know. And we have a presentation to give this afternoon, and then about 11 hours to go before our investigation. Hopefully we'll be able to run some video with that as well.
Right. So we have our presentation coming up soon, and what we have is a PowerPoint presentation that we're going to put up on the projector here. And we created it to sort of go through a little bit of everything. There's going to be a little bit of history, a little bit of the equipment, procedures and things of that nature, but we always like to set out the equipment here as well so people can come up and take a look at it and potentially break it so that we have to buy more. But, you know, it's good for them to at least see it in person. But Fox Sisters started a community up in New York that still exists today. Very small community centered around the lake.
So we finished up with that presentation, and now we're walking around checking out some of the vendors and some of the sites here.
Right.
And interestingly enough, over here they have a free PlayStation with some vintage video games.
Yes.
So let's take a look.
Look at this. Okay, this was called this. That shoots up. Don't they spin around?
Hi, I'm Sheila, and I am with Furville, and I make awesome fleece hats with cat ears and long ears. and I even have puppy ears here, and I make cattails as well.
Oh, cool. And I see some video game related
Yes.
hats and
Yes.
sports.
Hello Kitty football team.
You said you also
Zelda.
do Halloween ones, right?
Yeah, I got the spider,
Oh,
and I
that's
have
cool.
skulls, and I got a little planchette.
Oh,
I also
nice.
have some weird, but this is also Christmas stuff next to.
Oh, yeah, that kind of blended in with the Zelda.
Yep, I have Christmas and candy corn
Oh, nice.
and Star Trek. Gotta have Star Trek.
Absolutely.
Yep.
What's the website?
Well, it's on the Etsy. It's etsy.com/shop/Furville.
Cool.
And we do also take custom orders.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Old Dominion Daleks. We're on Facebook, Old Dominion Daleks. Built them from the plans that are available online through the Dalek Builders Group. Big one's 100% scale. The little one is 75%, and that's hers. I mean, she is rapidly outgrowing it. That's her. It'll be her third Dalek after this one.
I think I've seen her driving it before.
Yeah, her first one was 60%. That one's 75%. And she is rapidly outgrowing it. She's like an inch and a half shorter than Mom. So Mom drives the big one.
Oh, nice.
So we're looking at probably about 90. She does not want a full-size one yet. She said 90. Yeah.
That's
All
cool.
Foam core, hardstock, craft wood, paper mache.
Will we see this in action later on?
Yes, we will be rolling them. She was getting ready to go take them from for a roll.
Oh, cool.
We got to see if young one will fit in her Dalek anymore.
Awesome.
It's getting tight.
It looks like Doctor Who himself over there taking
Yeah.
a look at the
Yeah, the fourth Doctor.
Dalek.
Yeah.
Oh, that's from Wingo Agents.
So that's one thing that I don't get about these things. Maybe I'm kind of out of the loop because, you know, I'm a little bit older, shall we say, but I don't really get the whole idea of wearing like a tail, you know. There's so many people at these things that walk around and they're wearing tails and, you know, they've got like little fuzzy ears on and stuff, and like this girl that just walked by, she's wearing like this fairly nice looking black dress, what would be like a homecoming dress or something, but then she's got this like yellow and black bumblebee looking sort of thing sticking out of her butt, and like, what is that? Do you have any idea?
Yeah, I think it's like a Pikachu anime
Yeah, if you ever watch 1990s
type thing.
Incredible Hulk.
Is that how you say it?
Do they wear tails on this anime stuff? I mean,
I believe they do.
or is it like one specific anime show that they wear tails on?
I think it's a lot of them,
Okay.
but I don't know. Perhaps we should inquire on the next tail sporting patron that walks by. I'd like to know the answer to that.
Yeah, maybe
What's
we
the deal
should.
with the tail?
Definitely.
We're the IKV Devastator, one of the local Klingon ships, as part of the Klingon Club. And we have our display here, looking for people who want to join the Empire and seek glory.
Oh, awesome. Love the costumes, too.
That's it.
So we got some of the Klingon weapons laid out here on the table.
Yes.
Right.
The large one here is the batlith, and then the mechliths are the hand ones.
Right, right.
That's Dr.
Disruptor,
Kind of set up like a
shrine.
shrine, meditation display type thing. Klingons, they have a lot of
Ceremonial.
ceremonial stuff, ritual, and a lot of history and so forth.
We try and, as a group, we embody the spirit of the Klingons, which is go out and have fun, live life to its fullest. So that's basically our concept. The club does things as Klingon in persona. So we'll do the Klingon events and costuming, and then we'll do other parties that are not actually in costume. We'll have like luau parties, wear a loud Hawaiian shirt, but it's basically eating roasted pork and then having fun and talking, and so it's basically
Pictures there from events we've done, like the
Yep.
football festival, the Baptist tournament.
That's part of the Batless tournament. One of the Klingon events we do is called a Kopaball Festival. It's a Klingon holiday. So part of there, we're actually having a batleth tournament, basically padded type batless, and we'll actually do contact combat and have a winner of that. We do some like Nerf sword stuff because Klingons like battle.
Right.
And then in the evening, we'll actually have a torch lit at night. All torches lit all around. We'll all come in costume, and then we'll have like ceremonial things.
Oh, that's cool. You guys got a website?
Yes, it's a Facebook site, and it's IKV Devastator.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Awesome stuff. So we're gonna go in and check out the cosplay costume contest and see what some of these costumes look like, as if we don't know already what to maybe expect.
Right.
So we're gonna have a lot of people. So how this is gonna work, the same way it does every year. For those of you that haven't been here, I'm gonna bring them out one at a time, or in some cases groups. I'll introduce the person, their costume, where they're from, and they'll do their action pose, any intros, anything they have to say, and we'll bring them out one at a time. We're gonna start with the youth, correct? Okay, we'll start with the youth, and then we'll go to the adults. So give me 1 second, I'll start bringing people out.
So I think we're going to leave FantaSci. Interesting time. We're going to pack up, load up in the car, and we're heading out to Grottoes, Virginia. Is that how you say it? Grottoes? For a investigation tonight. We'll tell you more about that along the way. But let's get out of here. Waynesboro, Virginia, and we stopped off at a Walmart neighborhood market, and we're hoping that they have bathrooms in here, but we're not 100% sure. We're going to find out, and perhaps get a drink if they have that sort of thing.
So I'm 6'1", and when I go to any smaller town, people look at my shoes to see if I'm wearing heels. Smaller the town, less tall women.
So how do you feel up here in the mountains?
Like I should be in the hills and only come down to destroy their homes. So this is the terrifying monster hydro that Jeff just got for himself. And on the back, as part of its description, it says, just don't call it water. Because legally you can't call it water.
But it's like water.
All liquids are like water. They're liquids. It's green.
There you have it.
So we're at this lady's house, and she's mentioned that she's been seeing things on her surveillance system, and that she has several dogs in the home. So when she handed me her phone and I saw a dog here, I was like, oh, well, it's just one of the dogs outside, except when you zoom out, that would be a dog hovering over our cars.
Of the car. Yeah.
So I, for one, am convinced you're not crazy right this instant. So, which means that with the trail cams, you might get a lot of false positives, because outside also has animals.
Look at this.
Right now, but we're looking at the
See that old
movement
man's face right
that
there?
you can see in the woods.
See him? Looking outside of Jim's house. Can you see him?
It'll take a minute.
Okay, there we go.
Wi-Fi ain't so good here.
He's got a white mustache and white hair.
Yeah.
He's out there most of the time. He's over the halo.
Huh.
You're seeing some movement
I
out
think
there,
he's I like him
like
for
amongst
good
the trees,
to
kind of.
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty
Did you
sweet.
know trees had spirits? I never knew that shit
Until
till I
he
started
winks,
doing
he can
this,
hear again. Yeah, he'll wink at
whatever
you.
you call it, spiritual awakeness or awakening.
Amazing.
I'm telling you, they're everywhere. And every time you move it, you see a different movie because there's different faces.
So, I went inside to ask her where the security cameras were on the outside of the house, and as I went inside, she said that she pointed to her phone, and she's got the constant surveillance feed to her phone, and she was saying they're all outside and they're like, watching you. And when I looked, I didn't see anything at first, but I looked again, and it does seem like something was near where Linda was at, and it was just like a face almost. I couldn't really make it out very good, but it definitely seemed like there was something. And then before we saw that dog that we thought it was that dog, but dogs don't hover above cars.
Right.
So
Not
it's
usually.
definitely it's definitely some creepy stuff going on.
Right. What do you have?
Well, not a whole lot so far. Of course, I've been, kind of trying to warm up to the dogs so that as we're walking around the property, the dog may calm down and stop barking quite so much. If we want to do an EVP session, that's going to be kind of imperative. It's getting the dog to warm up to us a bit. So,
Right.
But I certainly didn't sense any presence, but then I didn't have my, spidey senses turned on at the moment.
Right.
So, I'll have to pay a little closer attention, see what happens.
So I wanted to make sure that the image I saw earlier that looked very much like a dog to me wasn't just maybe a trick of the eye with something physical. And so this is the same camera from, I guess, only a few minutes after. And we do not have the same images at all.
Right.
Now, one of the things she was pointing out to me is that if you look at David's car, there's some sort of figure around the window, and you can kind of watch this skull shape grow and grow until it's all around the car.
I see something changing there, though.
Yep. So who knows what we'll see with the trail cams and everything else that we have set up. She says she's going to put it on live for me so I can kind of see what's happening on the screen as she goes.
Oh, great. What we're going to do is we're going to start outside with the EMF sweep, since that's where a lot of the activity was. We're going to sweep around the entire property and see what kind of levels we get. So let's go ahead and head outside here. Right now we have 2 trail cams out there. One is closer to the street, kind of facing the woods and getting the street in there, and then another one is on the railing facing the cars, where they saw that image that looked like a dog in the darkness there, kind of hovering above the cars. So we'll see if anything picks up on the trail cams as well. Let's go head out.
So we're trying to figure out at what point on the screen, because this lady's been using a lot of surveillance to sort of watch the spirit activity on her property, and around the corner, which I guess we can walk over and show, we don't look like people. Is that you? Must have been the dog. That was a strange noise.
Yeah, I
coming
heard
from
that.
there.
I thought it was you.
So at this point, the camera's here and you can see us very clearly, but as we kind of walk over to the edge, there's our-
Oh, okay. Yeah.
as we come over here, we're on the screen,
Let's see.
but you can't really see people, you just see what looks like figures.
Yes.
So at the very least,
Zoom in on a little more, and yeah, you can see us. We're down in the. We're over to the left, so we're over to this side over here, right?
yep, there's my phone screen coming in and out.
Yep.
But we don't really look like people. So at the very least, we know what to look for on the recordings as far as figures and people go.
So we finished our baseline EMF sweep of the exterior of the house, and there wasn't any unusual levels out here. There was some EMF from the power box, which is normal, and there are power lines that are going along the street. And I went out and I went down the whole length of the street in front of the house under those power lines, and they're not giving off a high enough of a field to even cause a spike on the EMF detector. So now we're going to go inside and do a baseline sweep of the house.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
They go all the way down. They're lined up all the way back to that man there.
And this was right before we got here.
Yes. Look at him.
Well, then you have to take my seat.
Celebrating.
See, come now.
See that one laying sideways? I don't know what the purple thing is. Look in this bush here. Watch this bush. Look at the faces come out of this bush.
Come on, baby, get up. I don't know what's with them carrying on the street. Never heard of
They've been happy to see you guys.
So, interestingly enough, before we got here, there were what appeared to be figures lined up outside
Right, down the walkway.
just before we pulled up. So that's what we saw in the video there. So continuing on with the EMF sweep of the house, the only place where it's really high is right here in the laundry room. It's up to about here, and this is because of the refrigerator that's on the other side of the wall. Now, note that all the workings of the refrigerator are on the back side, so that's where the highest field is going to be. When we were in front of the refrigerator, we really didn't get much, only out to a couple inches. But here you can see it comes out about a couple feet from the back of the refrigerator. And like I said, this is the only spot in the house that has any spikes on the EMF detector.
All the crosses all around him.
What are we looking at?
The devil. Do you see him right here?
Yeah.
With the crosses all around him on his face. This must have been a graveyard. You think this was a graveyard?
It could have been.
If it is,
Right,
it'll pop
perhaps
up.
Way back.
That would explain all the
Now,
stories.
the road is called
Look,
Riverview
there's
or
another
something,
down
so it'll depend on when I'm looking up. If it's too close to the water table, that'd be a good reason to move a graveyard.
Right.
There is a river across the street.
Well, there you go. So it'll just take a little bit of
Picture.
digging into the property
It's like a graveyard.
to figure out whether the possibility of a graveyard
Yeah, I did, yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
So we are out at the very front edge of the property. There's a road that runs along the front, and on the other side of this road is a line of trees. Now what is concealed behind those trees is the South River. So we are coming out here just to kind of see if perhaps any spirits might be coming from the river, or if there's anything that's hanging out here in the front of the property. So we're told that there was some sort of a Civil War battle that was here in this area at one time, so the possibilities are pretty much endless. Could be soldiers, could be something else.
All right, so we're starting with the spirit box here. I'm Jeff.
I'm Nikki.
Linda.
I'm David. I'm Jacob.
And we don't mean to impose by any means, but we heard there was some people that came on the property, perhaps from across the street, and we want to know if you're here with us right now. Can you tell us your name?
Can you tell us what year you were born?
What do you think about the changes that have occurred here?
Are any of you soldiers?
We finished up outside with the spirit box session, and we moved inside to this the bedroom that's on the far left, and where they said they've had some activity that's been kind of focused around this closet behind me here.
Right.
Right? Do you remember what she said about that closet?
I remember her saying that it just kind of creeped her out, the closet. So I don't know exactly what has happened there, but specifics of it. But
Right.
she doesn't like the closet at all.
So we're going to start with the spirit box session in here, see if perhaps anything comes across.
Right.
Nothing at first glance from outside at the edge of the property, though.
No.
All right, I'm Jeff.
Linda. Nikki.
David.
And we don't mean to impose by any means, or to be here unwanted, but we'd like to know if there's anybody that favors this room, that hangs out back here. Anybody that's with us, aside from the 5 of us. Could you please tell us your name?
I don't want us something, is what that said. Can you say the name of one of the people in the room here?
What do you like about this room?
So what we're trying now is we have the digital voice recorder set above the fish tank, and the water is going to act as perhaps an ambient noise, and we're going to see if anything interesting results from having it there as we do an EVP session.
So we want to try to get you to speak into this little black box that we have up on top of the tank of water here. It now has a red light on it, and we don't mean you any harm. We're not here to disturb you. We simply want to talk to you and see who you are and why you're here. So could you try to tell us your name?
Can you tell us why the woman that lives here might feel uncomfortable near this closet?
Why do you like this room?
Why do you come to this house or this property?
So we wrapped up our investigation at the private residence up in Grottoes, Virginia, and we have some evidence to review, and if we find anything, we'll definitely post it on our website, vaparanormal.com, or there'll be at least a link to it on the website.
Right.
Now, here we are. We found ourselves at a Sheets,
Yes.
right here in Grottoes. I believe we're still in Grottoes or somewhere thereabout.
Yeah, Waynesboro. We're in Waynesboro.
and I've only seen these at one other location. I believe it was after the investigation in Lebanon. Grandma Utz barbecue flavored potato chips. And I have to say, I tried these things, and they are, if you like Grandma Utz and you like barbecue, you will like these chips. They're pretty good. And here what's cool is they have the full-size bag. The last time I just saw a little bag. I don't remember if I saw the full-size bag or not.
Yeah.
But definitely a cool thing, unique to Sheetz from what I've seen so far. But I'm sure they have it in other places, maybe farther up north.
Hard to find. Yeah.
So anyway, we ordered some food, and now we're just waiting for it to come up.
Yeah.
So as we're standing out here outside of Sheetz, getting ready to tear into these build-your-own burgers. I got one with jalapeno poppers on it, and jalapeno slices, and cheese, and some other stuff. And we also got the appetizer sampler platter, and is that my burger there? Let's take a look at that thing.
Right there.
Man, that looks good.
Looks really good.
And I definitely got to say, I'm eager to tear into this burger, especially after we've been on the road since like 7 o'clock this morning.
Yeah.
And had nothing but a sandwich with some salami and mustard.
And cheese.
Right.
Yeah.
But before we enjoy this meal right here, I have to say an experience I had here at Sheetz.
Yes.
I was in the bathroom, and I stepped up to the urinal, and over top of the stall, I saw a red hat with black hair sticking out of the back of it. And the guy was in there for a few minutes. I'm not sure if he was plunging the toilet or using the toilet or what, but then he flushed the toilet and walked out without washing his hands. So I washed my hands and stepped out of the bathroom, and as my gazes scanned the sales floor at Sheetz, scanned the various customers to see who the non-hand washing person was.
Right.
I noticed a man behind the food counter with a red hat and black hair sticking out the back. That matched the description of that head that I saw sticking over the stall. The only person with a red hat in the Sheetz with black hair sticking out of the back.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
So let's enjoy this meal. Well, we stopped at another Sheetz here. This isn't the same one we were just at. This is a different one. Stopped to get some coffee.
Yes.
Here, where are we? Near Charlottesville or something like that?
We're in Orange,
Virginia. And I'm not sure if anything else interesting is going to happen along the trip back. Probably not. We're going to plot a course for back to Yorktown.
Yes.
And it's in the wee hours of Sunday morning at this point. And you know, we started this video Friday night, I believe.
Yes.
And perhaps we were able to give you a window into a weekend in the life of a ghost hunter once again on this episode of Gas, Grub, and Ghosts. And we hope you'll join us next time. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because if you like this video, there'll be more, and if you didn't like it, maybe there'll be better ones in the future. Until next time, I'm Jeff.
I'm Linda.
And thanks for watching.